he ain't never stepped to the Morris twins who got in his face. He was quiet against dudes his size, but you pick on a little dude. How do you pick on a little ass, excuse my French, how you pick on the little point guard?
On today's Wind Up Wednesday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis give their thoughts on Golden State, LeBron's relationship or lack thereof with Kareem, as well as the race to the bottom to draft Victor Wembanyama. Welcome to today's show.
The Odd Coaches Podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today, again, I've got my belts out, Mike, and when you come by, you're going to see what I'm talking about. But with me today is my tag team partner. I'm still looking at that U.S. title with all of those signatures. The Nikita Koloff to my American dream, Dusty Rhodes in America's team after Magnum's tragic accident, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, every time I look at that belt, I think of how kind those guys were to me for my birthday. How are you doing today, man? I'm just happy to have my stuff out. It's been in storage for 10 years, but whatever. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Oh man, I love seeing all and like the Terminex guy and all the contractors coming by to come see the belts, and my wife's laughing like, "Dog, everybody stops and they want to see. Oh my goodness, is that 10 pounds of gold? Oh my good, yes, my belts. I miss my belts. All right, so on this Wind Up Wednesday episode, we're taking a whole segment to talk about the drama in Golden State. And then we want to talk about LeBron and Kareem and the race to the bottom, because you better get your track shoes on to race to the bottom, because that kid's good, but we'll get there. But Mike, are we green with envy? Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green offered a public apology and announced that he will step away from the team indefinitely after an altercation between him and Jordan Poole. Before you comment, I'm going to let you know what Draymond said. Draymond said, and I quote, "I'm going to continue to stay away as I've been away and continue to work on myself, but also just give guys space.
And work on myself.
I do want to give my team some space. I want to give Jordan some space. And then also take a few days and continue to work on myself. Take some time to let everything breathe." Green initially apologized to Poole and the team last week before practice, and then he immediately left the facility and went home. In addition to a team-wide apology, he said he apologized to Poole individually, and he also offered apologies to Poole's family, but Green doesn't know how his apologies have landed with Poole. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jordan's feelings are the most important, and to be honest, I'm not sure how he feels. That's not a bridge we've crossed yet, nor should it be a bridge we've crossed yet. The most important thing initially is to allow Jordan to work through his thoughts and not me try to persuade his thoughts one way or another. Green and Poole were in a heated altercation when Draymond Green, and I quote, forcefully struck Poole, which required the two needing to be separated. The altercation forced practice to be paused. There was a video that was leaked, Mike, and that's why I had to stop. So before I talk about the video, any thoughts you have, sir, initially about what happened before we break down the video?
He was a clown. That's my initial thought. He's a clown. Because he ain't never stepped to the Morris twins who got in his face. He was quiet against dudes his size, but you pick on a little dude. How do you pick on the little ass, excuse my French, how you pick on the little point guard? Like, come on, man. You don't do that. You don't do that at all. I think it's chump move. I think that he'd have to fight my ass every day when he saw me. Every day. You want to do me like that every day. I mean, he pushed him, yeah, but he pushed him because he invaded his space. But he gonna have to put it on every day. He gonna have to put it on every day because I'm coming at you. You don't do nobody like that. It's supposed to be a teammate. Come on, man.
Well, I got to give you Steve Kerr's comments. He said after the video was released, when things are kept internally, it's almost easy to handle. As soon as things are leaked, all hell breaks loose. That affects every single player, coach. It's like if you had a camera in your family and there was a family dispute, would you really want to discuss that with the world? The answer is no. The video does not show anything that happened before Green punching Poole, and Green did not specify the events leading up to the incident, saying he didn't want to use sympathy tactics or reveal anything that could change people's minds on what happened. But he did say it did not stem from the impending and ongoing contract negotiations. I'm a little pissed that the video was released, but again, this is the new world we're living in, and so this is a business. We say this every week. It's a line.
You ain't too far gone. You see that?
Yes, indeed. So Poole is eligible for a rookie extension, and his representation is in the process of negotiating with the Warriors. Both parties are using the October 17th deadline as a driving force to get the deal done, which would avoid the possibility of him entering restricted free agency next year. So you have that to deal with. Draymond Green has a player option waiting at the end of the season. If it's not picked up, Green will become an unrestricted free agent in 2024. Green has publicly stated that he doesn't believe he and the Warriors will reach an agreement this year. So you have that to deal with. You also have additional fallout because Warriors general manager Bob Myers said the altercation was not motivated by contract discussions, but yet what are we talking about? Contract discussions. And from his point of view, the fight stemmed from normal in-practice trash talk. I saw the video, Mike. That response did not look like the normal scuffles that I've been a part of, both as a player and a coach, over my 30-year career. I don't know about you, but that had a little extra vinegar to it, as my old boss would say. Draymond has said that day he was in a bad place mentally, and as a leader, he needed to have a better feel for myself. I got to ask you this, Mike, before I go nuts. How are you handling this situation if you are a coach, or how are you handling this situation if you're administration? You pick what you want to do before I go on my tirade.
I'm not going to lie. There's times as coach, I wish some of my guys did have, that edge that they were having to them, not to where it got physical though. I would never wanted to see it go to that far, but competitors are going to compete against each other. It's going to be trash talk. It's going to get to that point, but I would step in. We wouldn't let it get to that point. We can compete all we want. We can yell all we want. We can say what we want, but when it gets to physical altercation, yeah, I'm not with that as a coach. Now, as a GM, as an owner, something got to be done. I mean, you can't repair that. You can't repair that. Not what I saw. No, sir. And you don't do that against the dudes we play against. I keep saying the same thing, man. I remember them boys playing for the players, Markeith and the twins. He would never swing on one of them. He wouldn't swing on Carmelo. He wouldn't swing on the boy in Clippers. What's his name?
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard.
Nah, the big dude. I ain't talking about Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. That's why they losing now. Come on, man. You're talking soft guys. I'm talking about dudes who play and will punch you in your mouth. Like, there's guys who will punch you in your mouth that he won't go nowhere
Is that
near.
the Crawford guy you were thinking about, maybe?
Nah,
No.
man, that's a
Okay.
guard. This big man. Drummond. There's another Drummond, right?
Andre Drummond. Andre
Yeah.
Drummond.
Yeah, I'd like
Okay.
to see him step to Andre Drummond like that. All that shit he talked to Charles Barkley on TV, playing with Shaq and all them, and he take the littlest dude in the gym, and that's who you want to swing on?
So this gave me pause, and it gave me pause enough that I had to call everyone. And I called people in basketball. Got to call my basketball people. Shout out Lamar. Thanks for giving me. Lamar and I talked like 30 minutes yesterday about this. Talked to coaches, and they said I could say their names. So I even called Pratt. And Pratt said call Glick. And I said, I don't need to call Glick. I got Mike. So you can't swing on me like that and think we're going to be friends.
No.
I mean, there's the fights we had at practice, and then afterwards we're all walking home together from school. All right. There's those things. And I do have a colleague who's a friend of the show, who's been on the show, Riley Ainge, who said the opposite. He said, man, this is going to blow over and Golden State's still going to compete, blah, blah. And I need people like that in my life. That's why we do this show. But from a management standpoint, Mike, human resources, if you're in any other industry, you're fired immediately. So why is it that in athletics, we would let something like that go? If I'm Golden State's administration, and this has now gotten out, and now stakeholders and shareholders and so forth, Jordan Poole's got a clear workplace violation. He could sue, he could do, I mean, that's an unsafe work environment. So it's not the days of Steve Kerr and Michael Jordan fighting and nobody looking. That's public. And we can't accept that. There's no way now. Not that it was acceptable before, but nobody saw it. So, man, one of them has got to go.
Yeah, Draymond got to
go. If I am in, one of them has got to go. And you know I'm doing birthday calendars. And the kid's younger. And Draymond is 32, and he is already, no disrespect, this is the business, a depreciating asset. And now he's becoming a distraction. Don't think I forgot, Mike, about the reaction I gave you when you said, yeah, he does podcasts after the game. I was like, what? In the hotel room? We need to be looking at film or getting ready. So, yeah, if it's me, you got to go. And we're going to be all right because we got talent anyway. But yes, as you said as a coach, I need Draymond because I need that at practice. I need somebody that's going to get us off. But I don't need 6 of them, and I don't need that. He folded that boy up like a napkin.
No, yeah, he did.
Okay?
That's some sucker shit. That was some sucker shit.
He hit him, and then he held him. I can't walk back in the locker room after that. And I said in the group chat to my friends, man, there's a steel chair coming from behind. There's something, there's going to be a plot or something because you can't hit me. And I got to go home to my wife, my woman, and for the rest of the career. And we remind people of stuff. That's the littlest thing. Hey, remember that time? I mean, my guys will tell me now, remember when Hank yelled at you in the locker room? That joke was in 1990, and we're still talking about it. And that's funny. We're going to be talking about this is, man, that guy's kid's going to see this. Daddy, why that man? Yeah, so any last thoughts before we move on to segment 2? But I had to get that out too.
No, that's about it. I can't believe they did that. So it's just sad.
He folded that boy.
That's sad. It's sad to see it happen, man. And again, I don't like he picked on. He did it on the smallest dude in there. I don't care if it was contract negotiations. I don't care if it was talk about, something that happened in practice. Yeah, and Michael Jordan, maybe he did swing on Steve Kerr, but he ain't Michael Jordan.
Yeah. All right, fans, we'll be right back to talk about LeBron and Kareem on the Odd Coaches podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Fallon Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, I got to ask my partner, when did this start? So, because I'm old, I guess. LeBron James is going to pass Kareem this year for one of the most hallowed records in the NBA. The number one spot on the NBA all-time scoring list. Okay? James is just like a little over 1,300 points away from doing it. Should happen early next year, barring injury or anything like that. And congratulations to LeBron, because he's been in the league since he's like 18. All of that is wonderful. Okay. Kareem, as you've heard us say, and I am so glad, Mike, we spent last summer doing the NBA top 75. I think we've got to reorganize some of those episodes and share that information this summer, because we talked in detail, without the noise, about all of these guys. And I said to you, and you were somewhat in agreement, that Kareem is like the least celebrated great player in the NBA's history. So Kareem has a salty personality, they have said over the years, and he has said some things to LeBron or about LeBron. And when asked about passing Kareem, LeBron said, and I quote, "He has no thoughts and he has no relationship with Kareem." And people were talking about it. And I'm like, it's okay not to talk to people. So when did it start that everybody had to be chummy? When there's no disrespecting Kareem's career. Kareem respects LeBron. Kareem came out of the pocket, said some things that you're like, you probably could have kept that to yourself, but whatever. But any thoughts you had about LeBron saying he didn't have a relationship with Kareem, and Kareem being critical of LeBron in the past?
I don't have no thoughts about it. I mean, they both telling the truth. I don't know why this is an issue. I don't get it. Why are we even talking about this? What's the deal? What's the problem?
Yeah. So we're going to hear about LeBron and Kareem all year as he gets closer. So fans, I just want you to know that Kareem is a 6-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 6-time Most Valuable Player, 19-time All-Star, 10-time First-Team All-NBA, 5-time Second-Team All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Team, 6-time Defensive First Team, 6-time All-Defensive Second Team, Rookie of the Year, All-Rookie, 2-time scoring champ, NBA rebounding champ, 4-time block leaders. He was on the anniversary teams, on the 35th anniversary team, on the 50th anniversary team, on the 75th anniversary team. He had his number retired by the Bucks, had his number retired by the Lakers. He's a 3-time NCAA champion. He's a 3-time Final Four Most Outstanding Player. He's a 3-time National College Player of the Year. He's a 3-time First Team All-American. UCLA retired his jersey. He's a
Four-time
two-time
New York State champion, high school.
yes, he's a two-time Mr. Basketball USA, three-time Parade All-American, and he won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But wait, there's more. As a head coach, because he could get a job, he was the UFBL champion, and as an assistant coach, he's got 2 more NBA rings. And y'all need to be nice to Kareem because he is a national treasure. All right, Mike, thank you for allowing me to talk about the captain.
I think it's got to do with him and his name. I think that's what it is.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the social justice.
But that's the point. I think that
he actually did it when it was live bullets.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
not
my
pardon
point.
the pun,
Yeah.
but it's not chic. It wasn't cachet. Now
Yes.
everybody can speak out in the Twitter
Yes.
and the this. I mean, he was doing it when there was he was the youngest guy in that mix with Russell and Ali. So yeah, man.
And that's why I say I think it hurt him when you said earlier about his like most unheralded
least
like,
appreciated.
Of course,
player.
he least appreciated because he represented something that at that time America didn't want to see, and the business owners and NFL owners and the people they do business with. What do you mean you changing your name? What do you mean? Oh, that's Muhammad Ali status. And we know how Ali said that, Viet Cong ain't never called me the N word. So, like that made a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Kareem did what he did in his era is greater. Yes, I say greater. He might not start at a school, but to stand with for what he stood for is greater than what LeBron's doing now. Now, maybe if Kareem had those resources in a different time, they would be equal parts. And I think that's what it is. I think that's what hurts Kareem's legacy. Not legacy, but visibility and being, not being recognized, not getting a coaching job, not doing those kind of things because what he represented, people didn't want to see that.
And at some point today, I am going to throw something in the trash can with a skyhook. Okay. So this just in, Mike, Cleveland might be good. Donovan Mitchell's arrival to Cleveland has put them, stop it, because they might be good, has put them in an argument that they've got one of the best young cores in the NBA. The last time Cleveland made the playoffs without LeBron James was the 1997-1998 season. So Cleveland is a playoff caliber team, man. At least can you give Cleveland that? Do you think they can get one of the playoff spots in the Eastern Conference?
Hey, it ain't hard now. Everybody's going. We got the playing game. What the hell? Yeah, they can get in. Anybody can get in.
Well, let me take it back. Way I did that.
Let me take it back. Everybody but New Orleans can get. The Pelicans can get in.
Man,
but, it's pretty much anybody can get in. So yeah, I can see it happen.
All right, Viva Las Vegas. When asked the question about the NBA hosting exhibition games in Vegas, LeBron James used the occasion to make a personal plea to Commissioner Adam Silver, angling to be first in line to own the team in Vegas if they ever expanded to Sin City. Would you think that the NBA would put a team in Las Vegas? They already have the aces there. They already have the infrastructure. Is that a good idea, Mike, to put a team in Vegas? What do you think?
Why not? The NFL's there now, and there's nothing wrong. And they're worried about professional athletes gambling and stuff like that. That was so 70s, 80s, and it never stopped anybody from doing it. It didn't stop Michael Jordan. It didn't stop Pete Rose. It didn't stop, come on.
Well, the commish, Adam Silver was asked about it. And expansion, we're looking at expanding to both Seattle and Las Vegas. He would not be opposed to it. He said they're wonderful markets. We were in Seattle. I'm sorry, we're no longer there. We have a WNBA team in Seattle. We have a WNBA team in Las Vegas. But this is all speculation and so forth. But I think both teams should get in. That will be 32. Then you can move a team like New Orleans back to the east, where, they're not traveling to Portland and, making sure player health and
Yada,
safety
yada,
and
yada.
all, all of that. All right. Speaking of yada, 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 in the next segment, in segment 3, our final segment, we are going to lace up our track shoes because looks like there's going to be a race to the bottom. And we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
There is an old business adage that says, what gets measured and monitored gets done. It is also fact that deadlines spur action. That is what the CKA SAVE Project's academic monitoring service can do for student athletes. Measure and monitor their academic progress to improve their grades. Our academic monitoring services provide ongoing academic support for student athletes for a designated period of time. Our academic success coaches work with student athletes on time management and organizational skills, along with improving their ability to self-advocate. Every few weeks, our academic success coaches meet with student athletes to assess their academic progress, as well as provide ongoing academic advising. If needed, student athletes have access to CKA Learning Specialists who provide virtual core subject academic support for student athletes. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. And in segment 3, we're going to start our transition to the regular season in terms of the NBA. So the NBA regular season begins Tuesday, October 18th. This week we'll begin our NBA season preview. But I want to give Mike and I some opportunities to help our college and more importantly, our high school coaches who listen to us. Mike, how did you handle training camp as a coach? What were some of the things you did in the preseason as you got ready to ramp up for the regular season? Let's school our audience.
I used to, as a coach for my teams, I used to put my teams in the worst situation possible to see how they respond.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see how they respond. I wanted to make sure our workouts, we have the same 6-week program going through. It's time to tinker with alignments to see what you're good at, to answer questions. I wanted to make sure that I knew almost as much as possible about our team. And in order to do that, you got to get them outside the comfort zone. And I always, maybe the closest person to making a team or somebody thought should have made a team, I cut them. I wanted everybody to see that, it's not, don't be comfortable around here. Like you can't be, number one. Number two, I always scrimmage teams that I knew was very, very good. Like we scrimmaged Patterson every year. We went to Patterson. They came to us once maybe. But we scrimmaged Patterson. So I want to go get that tough competition. I want to get smacked in the face because we might be one of the better teams in Anne Arundel County, if we plan on competing at the state level, we need to know what that feels like. We need to see it. We need to look at it. And I always challenge. It was a challenge all the way around. Always challenge my players.
Yeah. So for me, I always worked backwards. As you can imagine, being my friend for 30 years, practice planning and preparation was a very big deal. And I didn't want to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. So week 1, and again, we did 3 days of tryouts, coaches, for those who, because all my stuff is out now, Mike, again, moving to have all of this. And there's several coaches from the area coming over to like talk. And I'm like, this is great. Come on over. Let's, go through this. So I always booked the season by weeks, and we had 3 days of tryouts. And we introduced our drills, and then let's see how you handle instruction, because anybody can play on the playground. Anybody can play AAU, and I'm not mad. This is no slight, but this is a structured situation because we're going to go against, 24 great coaches, and that's how I'm going to look at it, even if they're not. We're going to have film, and we're going to play these folks. So we would spend the first 3 days implementing things and then allowing players to go play. Because I want to see what kind of conditioning you're in. And then once we do the initial cuts, we always had our scrimmage on the 4th day of practice. Our first scrimmage is 4th day of practice. And we always scrimmage Laurel High School because Keith Catrera and I go back, shout out to Keith. He's doing great work. I think he's still at Hampton, if I'm not mistaken. We just haven't caught up. It's called Real Life. And that's where I got all my zone work because Keith's going to do zone. And then, like you said, we'll go back to practice. And then we're going to have around Thanksgiving. The day before Thanksgiving was always previously a half day of school.
Yeah.
For us, we would bring in a school, and the family who's in town will get to see them play. That's why we always did that. But the day after Thanksgiving, the Friday and Saturday, were the try scrimmages with the best competition we could get, because that's the film we want. I don't want film of us playing bad teams as we showcase for recruiting and all of those things. Notice it's not the huddle video with the rap video. Again, do you, but everything was scripted. So then by the time we got to, dress rehearsal, we would have one more home scrimmage to make sure everything worked. Put the clock up, pull the bleachers out, get everything in order, and now we're ready to play. So that's kind of my suggestion to coaches, to get the gameplay in, practice against different coaches that's going to bring stuff. I love the try scrimmages because you can get some work in, and then you go back to that other gym and tweak some things for the afternoon, but folks, look at the time commitment we're talking about. And we're saying it like it's nothing. So if you're not ready to put that kind of time in, man, good luck to you.
Yep.
But appreciate you giving some insight, Mike. And fans, so you'll know, Mike and I never scrimmaged. He was too far and I was too far.
Hell
and
yeah.
I think one time we were close to it in a try when you were no, we didn't no. So anyway, that's just trivia. We didn't do it. So
I used to host them. I started that board 20 jamboree.
Jamboree.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the
Okay.
board 20 jamboree. We had everybody at when we had the second gym at North County. Then when I went to Essex, we did it at Essex as well. And then Northeast picked it up where I left off. But yeah, we started that a while ago. So it was good. You get as many different styles of play in that one Saturday and to see how they react. And there's teams that we lost to in every scrimmage, and they don't understand to this day. It's like, I almost thought we had you. One of the coaches, I almost thought we had you. I thought we was going to be good this year because we did this in the scrimmage. And I'm like, dude, did you? Like, I try to lose scrimmages. I'm going to be honest. I do. I want to lose scrimmages. I need to see how my kids are going to respond. What are we really good at? What we bad at? And I'm going to put you in a situation to see how your attitude is, how you respond, and everything. And if not going to show you anything, too, I'm vanilla.
Oh, vanilla, baby, vanilla. Boring.
I'm going to show you man to man the whole preseason. We need to get better. We need to get better. We need to get better.
Sideline break.
Even though
I'm everything. That's it.
and I'm practicing zone every day, but you ain't going to see it.
That's what keeps us for. All right, fans, here, and I'm going to start this part of the segment. 5 teams that I want to watch this season. This is Dr. Adams. More importantly, this is Coach Adams. So in the Eastern Conference, 5 teams I want to watch in the Eastern Conference for various reasons. I want to watch Brooklyn because I want to see how they can deal with all the stuff that happened. I want to watch Philly so I can see how they deal with, okay, you've got a full training camp. James Harden appears to be in shape. Let's go with it. I want to watch Cleveland because I think Donovan Mitchell is talented, and I think they're quiet and they're boring. And quiet and boring is going to get you a top 4 seed. That's what I think. I want to watch our local team because I want to see if they're going to put their track shoes on and have a race to the bottom, or if they're going to West Unsell it and try to get the 7 through 10 playoff slot. If it's me, I'm blowing the thing up. Okay. But we'll see what happens. And I want to watch Charlotte because LeBron wants to be an owner, and the greatest player of all time, allegedly, is the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and they underperform every year. Yes. So I want to see if this is the year that we can get them better. Okay.
Why?
Again, this is me. And in the Western Conference, Mike, I want to watch the Clippers. They're telling me that they're good. That's what people will tell. Man, Keith, Clippers. It's all about the Clippers. They got
They
John
say
Wall.
that every
They
year,
got
man.
Paul George is healthy, and Kawhi is back, and he's gonna wreak havoc on the league because everybody was talking about him.
How
Okay,
many years you heard that?
look, man, I want to watch Golden State because this is a crisis. Whether you know it or not, this is a crisis because you got guys' contracts up and you got the entire league looking at you anyway. Just as a basketball, you're the defending champion, so you're going to get everybody's best shot anyway. And now you got this extra. I want to see how that works. I want to watch New Orleans because Zion's back, Mike. And Zion is being added to a team that didn't do bad without him. So you're supposed to be better when you get better talent. I want to see Minnesota because they traded a lot to get Rudy Gobert. And I keep saying, that's Rudy Gobert that you traded for. Okay. So let's see what you do. And last but not least, and much to your chagrin, I want to watch Denver because 2-time, baby, MVP. Stop it.
I'm ready to pull a LeBron in the press conference with the shorts.
So anyway, are there any particular teams you want to watch this year that's just, hey, I'm going to follow them a little more than everybody else?
Do better tomorrow. Nah, man, none of that. I don't want to see none of that. Lakers are going to implode. It's just, it is. Lakers are going to implode. I thought the Celtics would be like prime for that next step, and now they're in their little drama. The Clippers, come on, man. I've heard that story too many times. It's just give me a good storyline.
All right.
Out of everything you said, give me one. Give me one.
Brooklyn is the story.
Oh my God.
Brooklyn's
I didn't even mention them. All right, okay.
I didn't even mention the Celtics because
I'm done.
the Celtics themselves, I don't see them as a championship team, regardless of Ime Udoka situation or whatever. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They're a mid-card type team to me. To me. And yeah, I said mid-card. They're a mid-card type team. They're not elite. Brooklyn has elite talent, and they should be better, but all the other stuff gets them. Philly has elite talent. Man, Embiid's good, all right? As much as I joke and whatever, man, that dude,
He's the truth.
I'm not going to say should be the MVP because they gave it to Joker.
Oh, my God, stop it.
So that's next level talent. So I'm curious about that. So fans, we're going to conclude the show talking about how we're going to prepare for next week's show. And in terms of preparing for next week's show, we're going to look and see which teams are on a race to the bottom. So in segment 1 next week, we're going to see who's racing to the top. Who are the top 8 teams to make 6? Because the top 6 teams are in the playoffs, and the top 7 through 10 have to play in the play-in game. In segment 2, we're going to look at the race to the bottom. And this is where we introduce Victor Wembanyama. So Victor Wembanyama, as we have said on the show a couple of weeks ago, there was a made-for-TV event coming where they're going to play the G League. And I actually had a chance to see him play.
And?
He's not good. He's past good. And something a buddy of mine said to me, Mike, the max deal has destroyed the NBA.
Oh, of course.
The max deal has destroyed the NBA, not because we're mad at people getting money. No. Get the bag every week
we
for
say
200 some episodes.
Yeah,
but you're being paid like you're really, really good.
Right.
And you're not really, really good. You're just paid like a great player. This kid, Mike, he's 7'4" and 7'5" with shoes on. He crossed half court and pulled like it was a regular shot. So if I'm coaching against him, I can't put a little guy out there because he's just going to shoot over. And I can't put a big guy out there because he's going to go by. So that's the problem right there. I ain't even got the defense. So, in addition, he blocked the shot to start the break. and then he's able to finish the break. I can't.
Okay.
There's no drill to do that. There's no fancy internet slob side out of bounds drill to do that.
No.
Okay. He scores with efficiency. And he actually does too much. If you're looking at his highlights, he's not going to do all of those moves when he gets NBA coaching. He's going to do that in one move. So right now he's doing it 2, 3, and 4 different moves when you don't actually need to do 2, 3, 4 different moves at 7'5". Okay. He's going to feel into his body. He's on him right now. Can't play in the league. Like right now. And he's only going to get better. So that's a generational talent. So people were telling me about Chet, and I'm not mad
I was
at
going to
Chet.
say, that's who you saying. That's who you mentioning.
I'm not mad at Chet. And Chet's a good player. Chet's a really good player. But this dude is different. I don't know. Did you get a chance to see him play?
Yeah, he different. Just like Chet was. I had this conversation with Kyle Williams forever. Chet. Come on, man. It's the NBA.
This guy's better than Chet, man.
Yeah, so far. That's what they say. Show me. I'll tell you. I'm from Missouri.
And you're going to see him. You're going to see him play. He's going to play in the World Cup. He's going to play in some different things. But
and then when he step in that paint and somebody put a forearm in his chest, what is he going to do?
Yeah.
That's wrong. I don't want to hear about all the skills and like we said, you talking about everything that he do with cones. I almost cursed.
Oh God,
that's what he do with
cones.
Cones and chairs. Oh, great skill level, great this. What happened when that? Come on, like what do you do then? That's what I want to see. Can you finish tough through that? Can you have somebody in your,
So we're gonna find out who's gonna tank. And also, strictly for entertainment purposes only, in segment 3 next week, Mike's got some extra homework to do because we're going to do our over-under projections for the season for the teams we're going to follow based off of Caesar's overall win totals. So we're going to have some text messages going back and forth and say, hey, Celtics are still 54.5. Are we going over or under on that one? And what's that Golden State over under?
No, but it's under.
Mike, anything to add other than you not being impressed with Victor before we close?
I think he's all right. I'm just saying it's too early to be, we're comparing him to Chet or whatever we're comparing him to. I just think it's too early for that. I just think it is.
Understandable. But people are going to slobber all over themselves.
Oh yeah, that's what marketing is. That's what it is. Potential, like Butch Young. God rest. So Butch Young was long famous coach in me high school. He said potential is a whole lot of shit you ain't done yet. So.
Yes. But I want him on my team. I want him on my team.
Everybody wanted what's the name? The boy from New York on their team too at one point. So it happens.
Who do we like?
The point guard that they
said
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I can't remember his name. I wish I was talking to Rob Ingerman. Shout out Rob Ingerman, made hoops, elevate hoops. I forgot the name, but I used to tell him all the time, like, y'all love this dude.
And Mike, I don't like anybody though. That's the thing. And when I saw him, I said, I want that guy on my team. Because I don't like anybody. And I called Lamar and I said, Lamar, is this his name?
King Rice.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. King Rice. Everybody wanted King Rice on their team.
Now that we're talking King Rice, isn't he coaching somewhere now?
Yeah, he is coaching.
Like Monmouth or something.
Shout out King Rice getting it done.
Yeah. All right. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.